Talking about
Hello?
the sales of vehicles in Nigeria. So I'm asking, what has it been like being in that line of business? What are some of the issues faced by you and your other colleagues in that sector?
All right, thank you. Good morning for having me on this program. It's my pleasure. Uh, Sincerely, I can't really say it, but it's a business that we have started and we are into it, and by the grace of God, we'll continue to be in it. The business has not been so good actually, due to the economy that has been not stable in the society per se. A lot of people desire to get the cars, but unfortunately they cannot afford it, because of hike in price. And some of the government agencies that are meant to help, especially to finance or to lease in terms of loan of these vehicles, are not willing to do it because of, I don't know how to put it anyway, but in court, a lot of factors that they attach to those kind of policies, that make people not to gain access to such loan and facility. So the demand for cars has really come down. So in terms of business, we are not finding it easy, but we're trusting God that everything is going to be fine.
All right, we're looking at the issue of financing and leasing. I would like you to talk extensively about the issue of financing, which is a critical challenge. Yet you still stay in business. Given the reality, the exchange rate, given the depreciation of the naira, how have you been coping when it comes to the issue of financing, and how have you been overcoming these challenges? What will you expect from the government in order to provide a relief for the players in this sector?
Okay, thank you. Normally in this kind of business, if you now want to compare it with developed countries, you understand, the government form the backbone of the business by helping the businessman in terms of accessing loans and facilities to enhance his business. But in Nigeria, unfortunately, reverse is the case. You will see a businessman struggling to survive on his own, and the government is not even doing well in the sense that, at least in terms of tax, at least even with the rate of the economic meltdown now, at least the government have to, let me put it in this way, like tax holiday, at least to allow the people in business to recuperate, you understand, before they go further. But unfortunately, our government is not doing so. When we go to even access the facilities, even with the organizations that give loans, the condition they give us is high. You have to bring your CO4 of your house, and the interest rate is high. It's high that compared to what you're gaining in business, you cannot even pay back the loan with the interest, talk less of even to get a profit margin. So the government needs to do more in terms of helping car business owners to go ahead with their business. At least make a particular policy for the business owners in terms of facilities, so maybe to make it a minimal interest rate, at least maybe like a few years, like tax holiday I'm talking about, to work and recoup the money so that you can be able to pay. So sincerely, government is not helping on this matter.
So for the finance issue, you talked about high interest rate, but what about the ease of bringing in the vehicles? Let's assume you're able to even secure finance to purchase as much vehicles as you want to sell. How easy do you find it clearing the vehicles? How does that add up to your cost at the end of the day?
Yeah, thank you. Definitely it has impact, because
a lot of them are manufactured elsewhere. All right. Pardon? I'm asking, for the vehicles that you sell, I am assuming that a lot of them are manufactured outside of Nigeria, so you need to import them. So in addition to the issue of finance, do you also find clearing the vehicles a challenge? And how does it add up to your cost?
Okay, thank you. In the whole of the system, starting from even the purchase, you understand, before we even reach the clearing. First of all, the challenge that we get is the currency. You know, when you're buying these stuffs out there, you need at least dollar or euro to buy. And normally government's supposed to give us at a subsidized rate as a business people, you understand? But unfortunately, you have to go and source the money outside at the black market rate, which is very high. That is number one. Then number two, if you successfully get it, and you now purchase the vehicle outside, only for you to bring it, the cost of clearing alone is something else. You understand? When we look at the society now, transportation is an essential part of the economy because it boosts the economy and it brings revenue even to the government and even feed people, you understand? Okay, let me give you an example of a common Sienna 2005, which is being used for transportation, especially for long journey now. The cost of clearing that car is above 2 million naira. Okay, how much are you going to sell it? Before, we used to sell it like 3.54 million naira. But now, the minimum you can sell a Sienna is 5.8 to 6.5 million naira, depends on the grade. You understand? So we don't find it easy, especially when it comes to clearing. And another thing I want to say again, which government have to look upon is, you import a car, you bring the car, they will give you the bill for the clearing, you will pay. And because of the congestion at the port, you understand, Mr. A has brought his own. When he heard about the clearing money, he abandoned the car. Mr. B imported his vehicle, and when he heard about the clearing price, he abandoned it. So congestion, you know, you that you're willing to clear, that's supposed to take you like 2 or 3 days, before you know it is going to take you more than 1 week. It will now go to 2 weeks. And the next thing now, they will now start telling you pay demurrage. And before you know, on one vehicle, you're paying 200, 300,000 or above, or even more on demurrage. By the time you add it to your own costs, it bounces back to the ordinary man that is going to buy the car, the end user. So the costs become higher. And from there now, you know, it discourages people from buying. So definitely, we don't find it funny at all. In fact, personally, I was even telling my brother, I said, are you sure I'm not going to change the line of business? He said, brother, cool down. Everything is going to work fine. So sincerely, we're not finding it easy.
All right. Let's hope everything is going to cool down. So I'll advise you to also cool down. All right, that's just on a lighter note. Now, let's look at the issue of tariffs and custom duties. I would like you to talk, you know, stating figures, you know, which has to do with your recent dealings, your recent activities. Talked about how this has impacted your business and how you've been managing these hands with your customers, the issue of tariffs and custom duties, and what has been your observation in recent times?
Okay, like myself now, I'm based in Jos Plateau State, which is a north central part of the country. A lot of them don't know much about custom duty. All what they want, give me a car and I'll drive it. So by the time you now tell them, no, this car is so price, why is it too expensive? You now say, because of the custom tariff. He will now say, remove the custom duty and give me the car like that. You look at the typical mentality of a northern man. He doesn't know anything about custom duty because normally they used to bring the cars from Cotonou, and those cars are being imported through Cotonou without any custom clearance. So he doesn't know anything custom clearance. So we find it difficult to explain to a layman, please, this car before it used to cost 5 million naira, but now it's costing 7 million naira or 7.5. What is your reason? Our reason is because of the custom clearance. He will now tell you, forget it, remove the custom clearance. Remove the custom clearance and give me the car like that. You know, so definitely it affects the sales. Managing customer is not easy. You will see, you know, he has the money, he has the desire to buy, but because of the exorbitant price, he'll be discouraged. And that is why if you look at it now, in terms of selling car now, the ratio has reduced drastically, thereby making people to be going for Nigerian used cars. Like me personally, I don't like putting my house in the used car, except the one I know, because of the issue that comes along with it. A lot of stolen cars now are being refurbished and sold. So I'm very, very skeptical about that. So we're not finding it easy to manage customers in terms of the tariff. In as much as government wants to implement the policy of increasing tax, as in increasing revenue through importation of cars, I agree with them. I agree. But to me personally, the policy which they are using and the approach is not appropriate. How? Let me give you an example of Ghana here. When we are bidding a car on an auction, if you see a Ghanaian man bidding a car, if it's a model from 2018 to 2023, believe me, no matter how much he is, he's going to beat you out of the market. Why? Because as a Nigerian man, you're bidding the car, having it in mind with the cost of custom duty that you're going to pay when you come to Nigeria, because the higher the model, the higher the price. But a Ghanaian man, if it's 2018 or 2020, the higher the model, if he imports it to his country, he pay lower tariff. That encourages him to buy. But when you're bidding for a car of 2005 model, you will not see a Ghanaian there. No. Because he feels, no, this is a low model, and if he brings it to his country, the lower the model, the higher the custom tariff. So why will he import it? But in Nigeria, we are still struggling to import a car of 1998, 1995, Golf of 1995, you know? So we're not finding it easy anyway, my brother.
So when the purchasing power of the customers are reduced, another option may be leasing, or what some persons may call hire purchase. How's that going for you? Is that an option people are taking up right now?
Yes, I can say people are taking that option. But, you know, in terms of business, you have to look at the region where you're doing the business. In our own here in the north, a lot of people are not too conversant with leasing and financing of vehicle. They only believe if you work with the government or you work with a particular organization and they want to give you car loan, they go and buy the car on your behalf and give you, then they now be removing the money from your salary. But if you tell them any arrangement, the normal, okay, come and be paying this money small, and this is the arrangement based on financing, maybe you liaise with banks and whatever, they are not too conversant with it. So that system in the northern part of the country is strange to them. It's strange. They don't know much about financing and loan. No. That one is the only language they know, which they are conversant with, is hire purchase. And hire purchase has to do with commercial vehicles. Let's say a Toyota Sienna that goes for 6 million naira, you can now give somebody at the cost of maybe 7 million naira or 7.5 to pay maybe in 6 months, or it depends on the month which you have arranged, and he'll be paying instrumentally on monthly basis, you know, after getting a collateral and fulfilling all the necessary you know. So this is the one that is applicable for personal use in the north. They are not used to. A normal, typical northern man believes, I come with my money, this is the car I want, I buy and I go.
All right, let's look at this issue of Nigerian vehicles or used vehicles. There are reports suggesting that more Nigerians now are now opting for Nigerian used vehicles due to high cost of, you know, purchasing brand new vehicles. I would like you to talk to us about some of the findings, some of your findings and observations in this area. What are the merits, the demerits, and then the experience for some of your customers, and even for you that engage in that business as you know, auto salesperson?
Okay, thank you. Because of the hike of price in cars, people have now resort to the second option, which is the Nigerian used cars, you know, which is basically the major request that we get now. Somebody will now give you a chart, please, I need a Toyota Corolla, 2010 model, Nigerian used. but very good one, and my budget is low. The truth of it is, the merits that are there is when you get these cars from legitimate source, and you get it from a sincere person that tells you, okay, this car, I've used it for 4 years, I've used it for 5 years, and these are the challenges that I've undergone when I was using the car. You buy it from him, you fix it, then you resell. You understand? If you get a sincere user, he can tell you the truth about it, and you can buy and refurbish it and do your business. But unfortunately, majority of the people these days, everybody want to sell his car and get the value of the money, but he won't tell you the truth about it. He may tell you, no, it used to jack a little, but I'll fix it. Unfortunately, it's going to, if you now check, or peradventure you sell it to another person, within a week or 2 weeks, within a short period of time, it will start developing a major problem. And, from here, you start having issues with the person that you sold the car. So somehow, if you look at it, it's one of the best options to go with now because people are not buying Tukumbo cars. But the Nigerian cars, wahala, is different. Different in the sense that when you involve in it and you don't get the genuine source, from there now it may land you into problem because now people are now stealing car from one area or one region and taking it to the other side. You will see a car being stolen from Lagos and they will take it down to Benue or Jos or even Maiduguri. They will go and change the registration and sell it to somebody. When you now buy it, you sell it to your customer. After a while, you now start hearing stories. So to me personally, the disadvantages, that's the demerits, are more than the merits, sincerely speaking. Because I've had few encounters and my colleagues have had, even today, this morning, somebody called me for a particular issue that he sold a car, I think early this year. Now they call him at the police force headquarters that the car is a stolen car that he needs to report there as the seller. So this is something that he has done and forgotten about it, but now the thing resurfaces. So that means psychologically, even if you sell a Nigerian used car, your mind will still be there because you say, oh, God, help me. I don't know how the business is going to turn out. And another thing I want to mention here is even the government agencies has to take note on this matter. Because I see no reason why a car will be registered and somebody will go and give you the papers and you go and register it again without the consent of the previous owner. Normally, there's supposed to be the details of the previous owner. You give him a call. Confirm. Please, have you sold your car to so person? If he now say yes, then you now approve, then you now change. He bring the normal documentation. But these days, reverse is the case. You will see somebody bought a car, he will say he have did his checkup, and every details is there given to him by the necessary agencies. But unfortunately, the main registration is behind. I don't know how they do it. So to me, the demerits of selling Nigerian used cars is high and much more than even the merits.
In a difficult situation like this, what would be the way to go? What would make business easy? What would make the sales of cars easy and more business friendly?
Okay, this is a role that government has to play, or government has to play a vital role in this aspect too. Why I'm saying government is the major key player in the economy. They can liaise with the car dealers and I say, okay, hey, what kind of cars that moves within your area? Okay, we can import it being as a government and we give it to you, then you sell it based on leasing and financing. Then they give us criteria that we're going to follow. I think it will help because whether we like it or not, transportation has become a necessity, whether we like it or not. So I think government can do that. by importing vehicles. Now that this new modern technology has come in now, cars that use electric instead of fuel, they too can help. They import it. Then maybe they give us a license as a dealers to get from them, and we will sell it to the individuals, to the end user, based on financing to pay maybe in 1 year, maybe or 2 years, or maybe certain months, depends on how the arrangement is being made. I believe it will help. Then apart from government too, big organizations can key into it. You know, to me, major companies that do manufacture and assemble cars in Nigeria, this is an opportunity for them to key into the economy too. They can bring it layers with the dealers, but because our mentality in Nigeria, some of us, example, if they say some motors, they will not say, no, why would I go and buy made in Nigerian cars? Mostly if you see these Nigerian cars now that are being assembled in Nigeria are being given by organizations, but not everybody will carry his money and go and buy it because he believes it's not up to standard. So to me, those kind of industries now is an opportunity for them to key into this economy by now bringing those cars and giving people at a subsidized rate of financing so that they can be able to purchase and use. By the time the car flows into the society and they now see, this person has used this car for 6 months, it has not given him problem. He has used it for 1 year, it has not given him problem. Nigerians always want what is cheap. They will go for it. So I think it will go a long way if the government and the big organizations that are into assemblies of vehicles key into this and help the Nigerians. It will go a long way.
All right, I'm happy you made reference to some of these outfits who are manufacturing or assembly vehicles in Nigeria. I would like you to talk to us, in terms of pricing or costing. Some of these vehicles that are being made or assembled in Nigeria, how affordable are they compared to the imported ones? And then what is the perception of Nigerians about these locally made vehicles?
Thank you. A typical Nigerian man believes in class. I have a cousin that produce shoes locally made. When you do them and keep them without tag, everybody will not look at it and say, if it's something of 10,000, they will price for him 3,000, 4,000 naira. But by the time he started putting emblem, made in Italy, made in China, made in Turkey, people will start patronizing him just because of the name. It's unfortunate Nigerians, we don't value our own. Personally, I've supervised somebody that used an innocent motor, because I'm giving innocent as an example is because the one I attest and I know. He's a public servant, retired, and they gave him that car as a parting gift. And he now said, hey, please go and sell this car. How can I be driving innocent in Nigeria? Before I go to my village to somersault. I said, sir, no. You are the people that are making this kind of, this our business or assembling company now to be discouraged. I said, did somebody use it and he tell you it's somersault? He said, no. Why did you say it was somersault? I said, give it a trial. He now said, okay, if you assure me, I'll give it a trial. I said, I will supervise the vehicle for you. And he started using it. And we are servicing the car based on how they specified as when due. When there is a replacement of a part, we order from the company and we get it and we replace. And by the grace of God, he has been using this car now since 2018 till date. So that means the car is good for our Nigerian roads. But in terms of price, that is where the problem is. Any locally manufactured item here in Nigeria, you add up the cost of importation, cost of labor, even cost of electricity, when you add it up, it will go high. It will go high. So when you now compare, if I buy this car now, let's say a brand new for 10 million naira, I can get a Jeep to Kumbo that is less than that, and people are conversant with it. So the perception for Nigerians is very poor in terms of patronizing the locally made industries. But I thank God that government has started keying into it by purchasing it and giving it to officials, which at least it creates awareness. And gradually, people are becoming to now understand that it's better for you to get a brand new vehicle and use it for a particular year, let's say 3 years or 4 years, then you can now dispose it and you get another one, than for you to go and buy a Tukumbo, which has been imported from abroad. So as time goes on, people are beginning to now inculcate the culture of, let me patronize what belongs to me, you know. But the price is discouraging. But from what is going on now, the price of Tukumbo has gone up, you know. Even the brand new, the prices are becoming to merge and they are becoming at the same range. So people are beginning to think in that way.